Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the My Wife's Mad at Me podcast. This is my second time doing this intro because I screwed up the first time and then I just screwed up the whole intro. So, anyways, I'm just rolling with it. Today, we have a fun episode. One of my good friends, former employees, Chris, is joining us. We talk a wide range of stuff, go through some weird articles that I found, talk about the man who was eaten by the whale, which is complete BS. And we have some fun on this. So we have a pretty good, well-rounded conversation. He's a good dude. And the audio is a little screwed up in the beginning, so my apologies for that. I don't know. I didn't realize the mic wasn't plugged in all the way, so I'm still learning. But it'll be a fun one. So stick around. The first couple of minutes are going to suck with audio, but then it gets way better. So stick around. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow me or subscribe on YouTube if you want to watch or continue to, subscribe or whatever for podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. So I don't have, so Joe Rogan has two mics, which I only have one. He has military super secret spies. I have a guy who's about to go into boot camp. But he does have people with mohawks, which I have as well. So me and Joe Rogan are pretty much the same people, just living different lives. That's all. So Chris, first I think the most interesting topic, not really topic, but the most interesting thing. So you used to work with me.
For you.
So it's really weird. Maybe I could just do that. There you go. Okay. I don't know how annoying this is going to get. So it's really weird to say for. I've always said with, just because for sounds kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So anyways, Chris used to work with me, doing landscaping. He was already hired when I got hired. And so I guess I was like a supervisor. So the first thing really I want to talk about is I passed a video to you, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put this to you when we edit it. I will edit this part.
Okay.
There was a clip from Theo Vaughn's podcast where he was talking to somebody, and he was basically saying I think you can explain it. Tell me what it was about.
Okay, so Duncan Trussell was on Theo Vaughn's podcast,
yeah.
And Duncan made the point that in the current system of hourly work, you're selling your time. So you're faced with the paradox of either making your time last as long as possible. Like, let's say you're working the 8-hour shift. So you're trying to make the 8 hours. If you can do your work in 3 hours, you're still trying to stretch that 3 hours into 8. But if you can't get it done in 8 hours, it doesn't make a difference because you're only concerned about the time as a worker. But then the boss is concerned about efficiency, so it's not a fair trade, and there's a constant battle between does the boss feel ripped off or does the employee feel ripped off?
Yeah, I think somebody's getting ripped off, right? No matter what.
I don't think so. I mean, are we taking sides? Because I can argue either one.
Yeah, no, okay, so my argument is somebody's always getting ripped off. There's never going to be an even exchange. I don't think there's ever. The company has to make money, right? So no matter what the company is paying you, they have to make a profit off you.
Well, then we get into what our mutual friend would, when we use the hobo shirts idea, taking homeless people's clothes, selling it as an art project, and then donating half of that or a portion of that back to the homeless people that created the art.
Great idea, by the way.
So yeah, it is.
All right, hold on, I'm taking off this jacket because this is way too fucking hot already. It was cool for the effect.
Yeah, so that it would be better for them to get that bad deal. Granted, it's their work. They're doing everything except the selling. But they're getting money, whereas if they did nothing, they get nothing. So it's finding that line. Somebody's getting ripped off, but there's a better and a worse deal.
Right. But so in our perspective, when you were working, basically my train of thought as a supervisor is and I feel I want to be supervised this way, is get your stuff done in this amount of time and we're good. Because I don't care if you can do it in 4 hours or 8 hours, you get it done. And from my point of view, maybe my bosses don't like it, but from my point of view, it's hey, you do it in 4 hours. I don't care. This is what we do in 8. As long as I have a good understanding of where that, if it should actually be done in 8 hours. I'm not going to, tell you to do something that I think is going to take 2 hours and give you 8. I'm going to do something that I think, this is realistically, this could take you 8. And if it takes you 6, cool. We're both on the same page. And I think you like that, didn't you?
Yeah, whenever that happened, yeah. I was always a big fan of like just setting my own schedule and doing that because I've run my own business, and that was like really fun. Like we'd work 14-hour days, but we'd come home with a lot of money.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that. We know anything.
Well, I don't know.
I don't care.
It's millions of people are listening.
Yeah, dozens of people that I've never met might care.
All right, so this is super interesting. Okay, you were doing a tree, like a tree care.
It started as doing landscaping, and the guy I was doing it for was on like a religious amount of coke. Like he was snorting constantly.
Sure.
And the guy who can I like name companies?
I don't care.
Yeah, the Peters Auto Mall up in High Point? That was the guy who controls all the cocaine that comes into High Point Archdale.
Do you know that?
High Point Archdale, it's small.
But do you know that?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. And he was selling it to Tootie. The guy's name was Tootie.
Okay, Tootie.
He'd done 7 years for conspiracy of murder.
Tootie.
I found all this out after I started working. So I started working for him doing landscaping, and he was trying to get into landscaping from tree work.
Okay.
So I started doing tree work after like he couldn't get any landscaping business. So then I go into tree work with a guy who was on crack, which different from cocaine a little bit, I guess. I don't really know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. And we started doing tree work. So like in tree work, you go, you knock doors, you sell, and you try to get like the most amount. You really do try to rip people off. For most tree work is just ripping people off.
Right.
Like it doesn't cost that much to do tree work. Like there's almost no overhead except for like dumping, unless you illegal dump like we did, and I got arrested for. But where's I going with this? That's how I started.
Tootie, crack cocaine.
Yeah. So like he stopped paying us. Like so, what you would do is you would go do your job. You give him the check. The boss would cash the check and then give you your portion of it, like your percentage of it. Well, we started bringing him checks, and like for a week, he was like, "Okay, I'll get you at the end of the week. I'll get you at the end of the week." And like usually up to this point, it'd been you get paid on every day.
Right.
So like you're messing with two guys.
Okay, first of all, when you get paid every day, you're getting paid every day. Somebody like Tootie is getting paid every day.
Now, every now and then you do like a $5,000 job, and it's like the bank puts a hold on the check until the next day because you don't get back till 4:30 or something. It's like, okay, maybe. But it happened like 3 or 4 days in a row, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? I can swear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like we just start doing side work. So we just start going and doing the same amount of work. We'd make $5,000 a week or something, and we just split it even ways.
Right.
And Tootie was like, you guys didn't sell anything? And we're like, no. So this goes on for like a week maybe. And like me and his foreman started talking about like, we should just do this ourselves. Why are we ripping off Tootie? We can just, we'll buy a truck, we'll get this, get our equipment, blah, blah, blah. So I'm taking him really seriously. So I'm like, yeah. So like I start looking at equipment and everything at night. We start figuring it out. And one day we come back and we're like, yeah, we didn't hit anything. We only got like a $500 job and gave him like his portion of that. And apparently, I don't know, he freaked out. Ralph was going to take he was the heroin addict, then the climber. He was going to take his climbing equipment on his moped and use that to like, hey, you got to pay me what you owe me from last week. And he went to do that, and Tootie like reaches behind him like he's about to pull out his pistol. And me and Eric are just by the truck. We're sharpening chainsaw blades, and they're like pushing each other and shit. And Tootie and dude, it was scary because we're in like a laundromat parking lot in Archdale.
Of course,
Archdale.
That's where all things happen. Is a laundromat in Archdale, North Carolina. Okay, fast forward. I think this is pretty interesting. Let's fast forward to the illegal dumping.
Okay.
Are you a convicted felon?
No. Okay. So what it is what you do with we would dump it on the side of the road. Basically, we dumped it on private property. One of like a piece of trash that had like my name on it got dumped with it. So that's how they found me.
You being sloppy.
I know, right? Actually, if my ex-wife hadn't answered the phone when the police called, I never would have happened. If she would have said, fuck you, I don't know what you're talking about, no court case would have happened.
Nothing.
But she confirmed that that's who I was. And then anyway, so it's a class 3 misdemeanor, or no, it's whatever the lowest class felony is. It was like a $7,000 fine after everything was done and cleanup costs. So like altogether it was like $7,000. I paid that. I pled guilty. Class 3 misdemeanor littering. And and that was pretty much it. I did like 100 hours of community service.
100.
100.
Okay. If you guys, man, I hope that this all went through because I just realized that the microphone was not selected.
Should we pause and check?
No, well, now it's good. So we're good. We're fine. We're good. If you guys missed any of that, Chris is a felon or something. And he got caught dumping illegally. He threw in there that he was divorced. How old are you?
26.
He's 26 years old. He's divorced. He's lived life that that most of us have not had yet. And yeah, there you go. So anyways, we won't go through all that. But I do. Oh man, you were just talking about the dumping. What the crazy thing is when you said I watched a documentary last night. It was called A Long Shot. Have you heard of it? It's on Netflix. I think it's pretty old. I'll tell you really quick. And this is crazy because it made me think of this.
Okay.
All right. So there was a guy. He was convicted. Okay, his brother went to jail for murder or something, suspected murder. He was in the audience during that time, and the girl who pointed the murderer out. He saw her point his brother out, basically.
Okay.
And so a couple weeks go by, and this girl that pointed out his brother was murdered.
Oh.
And so they go to him and be like, "Hey, the witness said that you murdered the lady, this girl. She said we showed him the picture. You're the murderer. You're going to jail." He didn't do it. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, did he actually not do it?
Oh, it's coming. Okay. And so the story gets really crazy. Not really crazy. It's really interesting though. So he's like, no, I didn't do it. He was in jail for a couple of months. He got a lawyer and all this stuff. He remembered after the fact that he was thrown in jail. He's like, oh, wait a minute. I was at a Dodger game. When all this happened.
I think I heard of the story.
And so they're like, oh, well, do you have tickets? And he's like, no, I don't. I lost the tickets. So like he had no record of anything, no receipts. He paid everything cash. Long story short, he was in the stadium. He's in the Dodger Stadium. And he told his lawyers like, oh, wait a minute. Actually, there was like a camera crew and stuff there. Maybe they showed me or something. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, this is great. So they went and looked. And this is like, he's been in jail for a couple months now.
Right.
They went and looked. And Curb Your Enthusiasm was being filmed that same day on his same row.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, well, what are the chances that he's actually going to be on film?
Right.
Crazy coincidence that he actually, they went to HBO to look through the tapes and they actually found him walking across the camera during one of the takes.
That's awesome.
And so they're like, okay, this is him. A couple more things happen, but it's crazy that like, you keep your receipts, man, because you never know when you're going to be. And it turned out later, like the detectives and everything were like plotting against him to get him. Yeah, like they.
I fucking hate
it's crazy.
Don't say that.
Anyways, so Jesus Christ, we're doing a podcast here, Chris.
I know it's not professional.
Anyways, so the thing with the paper, if you guys didn't hear, I'll probably just cut it out. If it's really bad, we probably just missed a couple minutes. But Chris was. He was framed for illegal dumping, and
I did it. I fucking did it.
And all because of a piece of paper, he got caught.
No, I deserved it. It sucks though.
The thing is, everybody does it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the worst thing that ever happens to me, like, it's not that bad. It was money, you know what I mean? And then like 100 hours community service.
What'd you do for your community service?
I picked up trash. I'm not even kidding you. It was such cheese because you can I called the Greensboro Parks Department and they literally gave me a trash picker and they said log your own hours. So I could have lied about the whole thing.
Right.
I didn't know.
You every minute of 100 hours.
I really did. I'm not even kidding you. Right. I might have rounded, but I'm pretty sure it wound up.
No, if you worked 45 minutes, you're like an hour.
No, it was more like 50.
Okay.
I definitely rounded like that.
That's good. So okay, let's go back really quick.
Okay. The Duncan Trussell thing.
Oh yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah.
Well, tell me what you think because I don't really know. You're going to be technical about your definition of 50-50. It's like if it's 51-49, somebody's getting ripped off. See, to me, that's like a margin.
No. I think no matter what, somebody feels like they're getting ripped off.
Oh, feelings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, feelings. Someone's always going to feel like they get ripped off.
Right. I mean, the employee most of the time.
Oh,
until the employee starts stealing time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the employee's not going to count that as stealing time because they're thinking they're getting ripped off.
To even the field.
And then it's like, oh, come on, don't I deserve a bathroom break? Like what? I can't go to the bathroom now? Yeah. And it's like I can't go twice now, and it just adds up and up. And then
you end up like Scotty when you're taking 2 hour breaks.
Yeah.
Should I say his name? I shouldn't say his name.
Yeah, you should say his name. I don't think he knows how to get on a podcast, much less listen to this one.
We've had some pretty interesting employees work with us over the years, but anyways, I feel like there's more story there, but there's really not.
A lot of stories there. We'll see what the audience wants and the feedback.
There you go. There you go. I could tell, that I was threatened by the employee before I fired him, and as I fired him,
He broke his face.
oh yeah, this guy.
That was funny.
Yeah, they were sitting in. Were you in the truck then or no? You weren't.
No, I wasn't. That was when Christian was still my friend. So
Yeah.
Christian and I were working,
That's right.
and Dre and Scotty were in the truck, and
he got
Scotty
jumped.
stole some of Kay's clothes for drug money,
Yeah.
and Kay beat the shit out of him.
Well, it was kind of like a what is it called? Like a sneak attack.
No, it wasn't.
He knew it was coming. I don't know. It didn't look like it because man,
Scotty had been running his mouth to their
You're right.
suppliers for a while.
I feel like you know way too much about drugs.
I know a lot about drugs, Dale. I know a lot about
I need to know
drugs.
more.
I need to try them.
I
Sure, acid.
look. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, acid.
You should definitely do acid. It's $10 and it's 12 hours of the best. time
Right.
of your life.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
like
Shrooms.
Dude.
I would want to do shrooms.
I got a guy.
I feel like I need to be. I would like to just to be like they show in the movies, like in the desert or something.
Mescaline
I don't
or
know.
ayahuasca.
Yeah, I mean, just like out in the middle of nowhere.
Are you trying
just
to,
like
like-
lay in the sand and just like watch the sand?
Don't they normally like die in those movies?
I don't know. I'll have somebody watch over me. You always have to have
like
a
a
watcher,
Neil
right?
Young song.
You have to have somebody like watching you.
Yeah,
do this
babysitter.
stuff. Yeah, you
I'm
have
a
to have
really
babysitter.
good trip sitter,
Yeah.
believe it or
Okay,
not.
cool. So let's do that.
Luke has
But what, see, I'm afraid that the one time I do it, then I'm gonna be randomly drug tested and lose my career. And
You're
then-
gonna lose your career. Just don't say you worked here. Say you worked for Everhart Landscaping Division.
no, I mean, I'm not talking about now. I'm saying like if I get drug tested at my actual work, and they'll be like, the one time that if I don't have it out of my system.
Just refuse to take a drug test.
Oh yeah, that works every time.
No, it doesn't. You'd still lose your job, but they wouldn't be like, yeah, he
Yeah,
tested positive.
that's true,
No, he just
that's
wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
He said it was like, an
Insubordinate,
affront to his
Mhm.
character.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I'm gonna do that.
Go like real old school with it, like challenge him to a duel.
What do shrooms taste like?
Bad.
Do they taste like mushrooms?
Scotty says it's best. I've never tried them. Scotty says it's best in peanut butter. A lot of people think that you should brew it into a tea, but that breaks down a certain chemical in a weird way.
Just eat it. Like
Well,
it
the
can't taste that
problem-
bad.
The problem with eating it is you usually either shit it out or vomit it pretty quickly after. So like the tea makes it a lot more palatable to like digest, but the most natural way is to eat it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. I definitely wouldn't do cocaine. I think cocaine is like especially
never-
snorting it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm afraid to get the COVID test because it goes too far up your
I've
nose.
never
Like,
had a COVID test.
no, oh,
No,
I haven't
not
either. But I
once.
mean, I've seen like
Oh,
poke
yeah,
the thing
yeah.
way.
I
in.
don't want to do that.
I
wouldn't-
don't.
wouldn't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
I'd say I had a negative one.
Yeah. I would say yeah. I
Piece of
had it.
paper. I don't
Um,
like that. Dude, yeah, cocaine and heroin and meth. Like I've never heard someone say, "Man, me and my buddies got high as shit on heroin and had a wonderful
yeah,
time."
right.
Like it's always an absolute nightmare of a horror story.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I lost my chance to be experimental. Because I'm like almost 40 now. I just feel like, man, I should have done more stuff. Heroin probably not because I get really addicted to things really easy.
I wanted to ask you about this. So you're doing therapy, right?
Yes,
Are you actually,
Mm.
or are you just like your wife told you to go and you're going?
a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you try to get into one of these clinical trials for people with PTSD on ecstasy?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
I will.
That's
All
a
right,
great
I think-
way to experiment with it.
Wait. So what? Wait. How does that? What is that?
So I don't know how it works, but apparently ecstasy.
do
Yeah, you should. Well, it's the best of both worlds. Apparently, ecstasy helps you get through your PTSD. I know acid, if I had done it allegedly, then it allegedly would have helped. What I allegedly had was depression. Although I never tried acid and I've never had depression because I'm going to the Air Force. Right.
Yeah.
Never had
No,
those
no,
things.
never.
But I've heard from people a lot like me that it helps.
See, that's interesting. I don't think my wife says that my issues are really deep seated. I don't think so.
What issues do you have? You're just like occasionally lazy.
Oh yeah. I'm really lazy.
You're not really lazy. You just like scatterbrain. Like you think of other things. Like we
Yeah.
still haven't talked about Duncan Trussell and Theo Vaughn.
Well, my problem is one, I have a horrible memory, and I do think the more I talk about it, the more I realize that my memory is really bad. I'm
that
pretty
you
sure
realizing it or manifesting it into reality because you're talking?
Good point.
Thank you.
Yeah. See,
Thank you.
And that's the kind of stuff I try to tell my wife, and she calls bullshit on me. But I do have a really bad memory, and a really bad short-term memory. Like, I was a horrible waiter. I remember, like, I would try to be the cool waiter, be like, "Hey, what do you want you guys to drink? I won't write anything down." And then literally I would walk away from their table, and like 2 seconds on the way to the fountain machine to the sodas, I'd be like, "Fuck." I don't remember anybody. I can't even get close. Like, do they want Coke? I just got random stuff. I'm like, all right, who had Coke?
When you do that and there's no one in the restaurant, it's like, oh, I got confused.
Dude, so many times, like, they would like ask, like, they would, call me over, like, hey, how can I help you? And they're like, oh, can I get a side of ranch? I'm like, sure. I turn around, I'm like, fuck, what dressing did they just ask for? Like, that's that bad sometimes. But I don't know. Again, it's everybody claims they have ADHD and all this stuff. I don't know if it's like that's part of it. I don't think I do.
Well, Logic made that popular.
Right. Yeah.
I stopped respecting him when I heard that song.
Yeah. And then TikTok makes everybody feel like they have ADHD because they're like, if you have ADHD, you do that. Glenn, right? Glenn told me
I 100% am diagnosed via TikTok. But
Yeah.
I thought I had.
Oh, okay.
I always said I had adult onset ADD.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. But TikTok.
See, people, he wants a label is what it is. He's a white male that is like middle of the road in our world. And and he's like, okay, what am I? And then he's struggling to know who he is. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna put this label on. I'm ADD or whatever.
Look at how many tabs I have. Plus how many
Everybody has tabs open.
He's got really white teeth, though.
Yeah.
Sparkling.
It's sparkling like mouth of pearls over there. Anyways, so
Dude, I hate TikTok. I still don't have TikTok.
You don't?
I don't have TikTok.
But you watch the clips.
If my girlfriend sends them to me or like it's on another.
So you don't know any of the
app that I
dances?
use.
There's some
No,
good
I don't know
dances.
any of the dances.
Oh man, there's some good ones.
I don't know any of the Fortnite dances either.
So anyways, okay, so going back to the I feel like we could talk about everything. The Duncan Trussell, who is it doesn't matter.
You don't know who Duncan Trussell is?
No.
He's from Brevard. It's a city next to Asheville. Like Brevard County is where Asheville is.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything.
He's from North Carolina. He's like probably the most famous comedian outside of Andy Griffith from North Carolina.
Oh really?
I would assume. I don't know anyone else.
Who is he? What does he do?
He's a comedian.
Oh.
He's a stand-up comedian.
The comedian stuff is interesting because lately, and I think it's a lot of your age group that's like, I don't think this has been like this for a long time, but I feel like there's a lot of comedy fans. I think because there's so much comedy available. Like I
think I know why.
Why?
So there's no space for straight white men to go and be like super masculine and not be racist. Like if you want to be like super like alpha male type thing, you're like a Trump supporter and a Nazi. Like that's pretty much your only corner left. So you go into like stand-up comedy, it's nothing. But it's also everything. So you've got like comedians like Joe Rogan and Bill Burr that just don't give a fuck. It's like a bastion of freedom and free speech. So I think that's why people like me, like I hate TikTok. You can't say the word kill on TikTok. Right. Like that's stupid. Why censor that? So like for me, like going into stand-up comedy is like you get the freedom of actually saying things wrong and forgiveness if you do.
That's pretty interesting. I think you're right about that. It allows you to kind of tote that line indirectly because you don't have to be the one, right? Like, if somebody else is toting the line and you enjoy it, and then that's kind of enough for that edge.
We both know I've never had a problem saying what I thought.
Well, you talk to people, especially like late 20s, early 30s. Mm-hmm. It's all like when and I've always been a fan of comedy, but I've never like known like the circuit of comedians, like, and just until just recently. So I don't know if it's like a Netflix thing where comedy is just like, there's a lot of access and like, listening, like when I first started getting into comedy, I was listening to Opie and Anthony like way long time ago in like early 2000s. And they had a lot of, Bill Burr came in a lot, Rich Voss and like a lot of the New York comics came in a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started getting into comedy. But there was nobody else I knew that like, there's nobody in Florida that knew who Rich Voss was or Jim Norton. Yeah.
Jim,
right. And so I think that's like now, like you say, oh, you like comedy? And they start naming like obscure comics. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I know them. Okay, they have specials, so they're not super obscure, but they'll talk about
I mean, somebody named Joey Diaz. Like
Right.
2 years ago, nobody knew who that was.
Right.
But as Joe Rogan's show grew, I mean, a lot of this has to do with like Joe Rogan having such a successful show. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like his numbers are insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right?
And then you add to that, like he's just such a cool male figure that a lot of my generation doesn't have a male figure to look up to in their life. So you fill it with like these types of I don't know what the right word is, like demigods of what you want to be.
Yeah.
So you see people like Jocko Willink, and then like who's the other guy who's insane? The black guy who's the Navy SEAL. He started as TACP, went into the Navy SEAls. David Goggins.
Yeah,
David Goggins. You see like these like super alpha males, they're Cam Hanes. They're super famous, all from his show, basically.
Right. Yeah. There definitely is like a bump, like the Joe, they call it like the Rogan bump or whatever, anything he talks about. I mean, dude, I think he gets like 20 million downloads.
Like that's
in
like a day.
Yeah,
like that's one day.
That's more than Jimmy Fallon. That's
crazy,
right?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That's like watching Mad Men, like hearing the numbers of what the Andy Griffith show got, and then comparing it like Modern Family, which is the #1 show now. It's like 15 million people versus like 100 million. It was crazy, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know, like the whole comedian thing is really interesting because I was talking to my sister-in-law's boyfriend, and I mean, he's younger. Like we don't have a ton in common. We'll talk about sports and stuff, but then like as soon as we start talking about comedy, it's like, okay, that's like a common ground. But like, man, like I didn't know that many people. I know you're really into comedy, but I didn't know like that many people were like really into it. Like,
not many people are into it as much as I am.
Like Nate Bargatze and stuff like that. Like, or is that how you say his name?
Nate Bargatze.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of people like that. Like, oh yeah. And then we started talking about comics, and like we were like 20 comics in. And we're still talking. And it was like, okay, like it's a weird shift that comedy is like where it's at today. I don't know if it's, or am I just paying more attention to it? I don't know.
I think there's like a real absence of good music too. So like I fill my time with listening to podcasts and stuff because I'd rather listen to like spoken word than like some shitty mumble rapper trying to pretend they know what they're doing. Like there's not been a good rapper in a while. Like you got like a couple big names like Kendrick or J. Cole, but like thoughtful, like insightful rap. And that's like, and then same thing with country music. There's no like real subs. It's all about drinking and fucking. Yeah. That's all music is.
Yeah. Country's definitely more pop now.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's weird. I hated country music growing up. But now like I really like the stuff that I hated, like, I don't really like it. Yeah. Like that Garth Brooks type, like Travis Tritt and, those people like from like the 90s, like 90s country. I like that. Like, Shania Twain. I can get down.
You look like a Shania Twain guy.
I definitely
like a woman.
That's a catchy song. I mean, most of those, and then like now it's like, I don't know. It's all the same stuff. It's all pop kind of stuff, right?
Not what I listen to.
Well, Gio, I was talking to Gio and we were talking about rap and like he was naming all these people. One, I don't really know who they are. And then we started listening to them and like, this is horrible. Like they all sounded the same. And I know people are going to kill me, but like Lil Baby and Dub Baby and like they're all kind of the same.
Their names are all the same.
Yeah. It's like, they're all babies.
I have a friend in London who loves rap, and I feel like he's gonna like bust his eardrums out when he hears me talking about it because he knows I listen to like death metal and shit.
That metal stuff is interesting.
It's an acquired taste for sure.
Yeah. The weird thing is the death metal porn is really strange.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like
porn?
Yeah, it's like they go at it with like like that kind of like music in the background. It's dark and there's like red lights.
Like actual porn with death metal.
Yes,
that's how I fuck.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Too much for me, man.
Why? It's like this. It's like animal.
Yeah,
it's like primal.
Yeah,
like some of like the music can be shit no matter what, but some of it's really good. Have you ever been to like a show, like a metal show?
No.
100% better than the music.
Yeah. I bet you it is. Yeah.
The quality is worse, but like to go and see people, like you've never seen a mosh pit,
right?
Dude, you gotta go.
It's too much.
You don't have to participate.
I think I'm too old for that because like
you are.
There's a lot going on and like I think even it's busy. Yeah. I'd rather like everybody take their seats. Let's get there 20 minutes early and enjoy the music.
Get there 20 minutes early.
I went on a flight last week and both times leaving and coming back, I was 2 hours early to the airport.
Ew. Well, you have kids.
Well, not even those kids.
You want to be with them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, actually,
That's
it
vacation.
was a mistake. I left like an hour early than my 2 hours, so I was like 3 hours early.
Oh,
And
Brooke,
no, my wife got the text alert saying, she was like, "Your plane doesn't leave till 1. Why are you leaving? It's 9 o'clock." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really realize it, but I would have hated myself getting there early because I hate rushing." And I don't think that's an old thing. I think that's always just been me. Like,
That's an ADD thing.
I'm ADD.
There we go.
There I am.
You forgot about it just now.
There
Your
needs to
memory
be.
loss.
I need the memory loss. I'm trying to get all my friends to write like a notebook style diary for me.
For you?
Yeah.
That's really self-centered. Why would I do that for you?
Because when I actually do lose it, I need to read. I want to like read my
you want me
story.
to keep like a journal entry of every time I interacted with you?
That would be awesome.
Dude, I'm going to do that.
I think it would be.
Well, that's what this is.
That's what I'm saying.
So when there's like a guy over your hospital bed with a mohawk, you'll be like, "Who is that?" And I'll pull. And you'll be like, "Oh,
no. Look, you
It's
just you give me the book. Like in my hospital bed,
why would you want the book when you could watch it?"
it's not as dramatic. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I just watched.
It's not as dramatic to like hear the story of. Like to write a book is way more dramatic when you're reading. But like this is just the same thing.
Yeah. So I'll be in the hospital bed just watching my old podcasts. Eastleigh Fantasy has like we just hit 400 episodes.
Still can't find it. Can't find it
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's-
I've Googled it like 50 times. I'm pretty sure you blocked me because we used to work together. You didn't want me to find it.
Maybe.
Also, for somebody who likes sports, you never talked about it with me. Like ever.
What, fantasy?
Yeah.
I try to keep it quiet.
I was interested in it like multiple times.
Yeah, no, but
Like
I
you like casually flex, like, "Ooh, I'm a ranked fantasy player." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah,
And you're
no.
like, "We don't talk about that."
Yeah, no.
It's like Fight Club.
it's weird.
for,
It
like,
is.
chubby
Well,
guys.
it's yeah, no, it was it's weird because I show a lot of my personality in the podcast and
Oh
I try
God
to keep-
forbid. It's probably good you didn't show
yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, I had I'd said and did some questionable things on the podcast that I wasn't ready for the world.
The clip show was awesome. I much
Oh,
prefer
thanks.
that.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna do some more clip shows from old episodes.
Let's get some more podcasts up before we start stroking our dicks, huh?
All right. So what was I talking about? Okay. So really quick, since you are going to, what are you going to the Air Force?
Air Force. Well, SEER, so Air Force, yeah.
Why didn't you say Air Force?
Because it's a special. I work with all the branches. I could be attached to any branch.
Oh, really?
So like with SEER, you do 3 years in Washington with the Air Force, and then after that, you could be stationed on like a Navy ship or a Army base or Ohio. It
Interesting.
doesn't really matter.
Huh. Okay. So
But yeah, Air Force technically.
All right.
The best branch.
there is. So I have a couple of stories here, but this because I know you're going in the military.
Okay.
Man, I can't wait. Look, I kind of want to say it, but
Go ahead, say it. Say it.
you
You can't wait till I hate it.
Yeah. No. I think that I know there's a lot of people that are in the military that are listening to this. Are you worried at all that they're going to pull like the old switcheroo on you? And
Like
you're gonna
everybody's
end up-
been real nice up to this point.
Oh, and then like you're going to go in and like, okay, you got to be a janitor for 2 years.
That's definitely a possibility, and my recruiter was pretty upfront with me about that. Is that if I if I fail in SpecWo, what'll happen is I get whatever the Air Force needs. They'll give me like 5 jobs. I have to pick from those jobs. So it's probably like 4 jobs that suck dicks, and then 1 that they want me in, and so that I'll pick the one they want me in. But yeah,
Gotcha.
so that's what happens if you fail. But they need special forces people all the time.
Right. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
He's a salesman.
but no, I hope that it goes well. Definitely. I'm rooting for you. But man, I think because I'm a little like cynical. Like I
am too.
Yeah, I can be. I'm not all the time.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
I am.
So anyways, so this is crazy. Okay. So basically the headline is that there are a couple episodes ago, I did the thing about the missing nuclear weapons, which is really interesting. So there's an article from the AP. They did a lot of like research and stuff, and there are a ton of weapons missing from the military, which is not a big deal, right? Like, if you're in Afghanistan or something, you're in a fight, somewhere and your gun gets knocked off, like you're going to lose it, whatever, that stuff happens. But there are tons of missing weapons that the military flat out said, like, you expect them to lie a little bit, right? Like when you say, hey, did you lose weapons? They're like, no. That's what they did. Like, oh, no, we don't lose weapons. And then they did some research and like, actually, you've lost a lot of weapons because it's all public record. We just had to do some digging. There's like over 1,200 missing weapons in the last 10 years. And like, oh, I didn't realize it was that much.
That's a lot.
So the most amount, like, okay, so there's a ton of rifles. The rifles make up most of the missing stuff, which is weird because you would think it would be handguns, right? Handguns, I think, could be lost easier.
To me, I think about what most soldiers are going to be using, and rifles. Every Marine is issued a rifle, so that makes sense to me.
Okay,
But like a mortar, how do you lose a fucking mortar?
well, what I'm a little nervous about, there's in the last 10 years, 36 grenade launchers and 34 rocket launchers. Yeah, that's 70 like big things over your shoulder. Like
Right.
one or two can go missing in war or something, right? One or two can go missing in the desert.
Falls off a boat, whatever.
Right.
But like that, you cut that in half. Like we'll give you half of that. It's still like 30 total.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna choose to believe that it's the CIA.
So, well,
Based on nothing.
I mean, I'm sure what happens is, especially like handguns, an 18-year-old kid, says he loses his handgun, goes and sells it on the street for $500.
As much as like they actually lose. Like I've seen some Marines. Like when I went to MEPS, they were pretty dumb. Like right in the Marine like department for recruiting, there were some pretty dumb kids in there, and they literally were like 16, 17, 18. So I think they actually lost them, and like it's under a rock in Iraq somewhere or something.
So somebody was arrested for attempted murder or something like that. I don't know. I'm not reading the full story with you guys, but basically a 9mm Beretta was traced back to 4 shootings, all of them in New York. And they don't know where it came from, but they do say that it was still the gun was registered and was supposed to still be in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And it wasn't. It was 4 shootings all in New York. So somewhere in Fort Bragg or somewhere, somebody sold a gun, and now it's used on the streets.
Have you heard about the LAPD scandal where they were like taking a bunch of guns and shipping them across the border to Mexico and giving them to the cartel and like trading money that way?
No.
Oh, dude, you gotta look that up. Yeah. Like a couple police departments like in and around LA like would take a lot of the confiscated illegal guns and sell it to the cartel. So like it would ping like against U.S. databases and stuff when it got.
That's crazy,
seized.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's some dirty cops in LA.
Oh, I bet.
That'd be a cool movie.
Yeah. Oh, that. Okay, that's number 2 movie list.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of crazy. So all these guns, like the thing for me is like the missing stuff, like especially like the nuclear weapons, like not knowing where every single one is crazy.
They have to sink.
Most of them, right?
They have to.
Yeah, most of them. The military weapons, I can expect 1 or 2 to be lost, but this is a lot.
I don't like that it says lost, not lost or destroyed, because like destroyed.
It says unaccounted for.
I think
so even if it's lost and they account for it, if like there's like, hey,
they
boss,
find it. But
yeah,
like,
I lost a rocket launcher down on in the building. Okay,
but like
cool.
you
Let's
think
just
about
mark
it,
down.
like one team of SEALs, like let's say like 12 SEALs get bombed when they're on deployment. They're in the middle of nowhere. You can't go get them. They're SEALs. Like those are the guys that goes and get stuff. There's 12 of your rocket launchers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Somebody rocket. What's the cost of a rocket launcher on the street?
Oh,
Yes.
okay. A rocket launcher? I guess it would depend on where you get it from. Like what? Like I bet it's cheaper in Detroit than it is here.
Let's see. Oh well, SpaceX advertises a. Oh no, okay, that's to launch a rocket. Yeah, to launch a rocket. Yeah, okay. No, I'm looking for
RPG rocket propelled grenade is what you're looking for. RPG. That's not bad.
Cost $900 last March, and a single grenade was around 100. What?
I could buy.
Why
an
don't more
RPG.
people have this? It's only $1,000 for.
Would you? Okay, so Second Amendment question: would you be okay with your neighbors being able, like, everybody having the right to own an RPG, having
good
the
question.
right, not necessarily owning them, but like you could go through the process.
Hmm.
Just a background check.
I'm going to lose
and
half
you
the
get it.
listeners no matter what I say here.
Exactly. I've already asked it. So to the 6 of you, goodbye.
Yeah. I think it's okay. Oh man, that's dangerous though, because like you accidentally fire like a handgun, like it's gonna hit somebody maybe, or maybe get hit a wall.
Yeah, it's like one.
You
person
misfire.
bullet.
You misfire this, like it's going through a couple of houses.
Could you imagine like a school shooter gets an RPG?
Yeah,
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, maybe we shouldn't have those on the streets.
You pussy.
You just I mean, oh man, no. I think it's okay. It'll be fun. I like to go to the country and
I'm so okay with it. I want everyone to have an RPG. Because if everybody has one,
yeah, that would be horrible. That would be
it would
horrible.
be so bad. I
But
don't need to be in charge.
okay, so hold on, they went up. They like doubled in price the last like year. They were $1,000. Now you can get them for $2,000 plus $500 for each grenade.
Could you imagine if like Detroit drug dealers started to like buy RPGs and stuff?
Yeah, they have them, right? You think so?
know.
I think gangs. Some gangs
hear
have.
about them being used.
Yeah, I think some gangs have them. If I was a gang member, I'd go to my leader and say, "Listen, we need a couple of these. They're $2,000. We got to find out how to get it."
I would love for you to be the acquisitions guy for your cartel, or like you're the 5-year guy for the drug people.
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, you gotta think about expanding. We're doing great. We gotta get this controlled growth. Trying to talk some sense into Tony Montana of how to grow his empire. We need some laundering.
Look, prices of grenades went up last year. I say we go ahead and get a couple just in case. We can always sell them over to. It's.
What is the best organized crime movie or TV show of all time?
I mean, Godfather's up there, right?
That's okay. I think it's definitely up there. Sopranos.
I still haven't watched Sopranos.
I've watched like 2 seasons and I'm obsessed. I haven't been able to watch it. The girl, I got a story. I don't think I've ever told you this story.
What?
I might tell you off air.
No, tell me. You can tell me. It's a safe space.
I'll tell you in a minute. Go ahead.
Sopranos is too many characters for me.
There are a lot,
Like-
and quickly. Like it's like
That's what I'm saying. Like the first 2 episodes are like, what? Like, okay, I recognize James Gandolfini. Like, I know he's
Right.
Tony Soprano. But everybody else is like, who is he? Is he
there's
bad? or
Christopher
good?
and his girlfriend,
And they all talk the same.
Everyone sounds exact.
Yeah.
And there's Paulie.
Yeah,
Big
all the
pussy.
old fat guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's
It's-
hard to follow. I'm
it's
sure once you get into it, you start figuring it out. But it had me work too much. Mad Men did it right, where you started off.
pretty good.
There was 1 or 2 characters, and it was 3. Then it was a cut, and they really built it. But
I still haven't watched like the last season of Mad Men.
it's good. It's a good one. Yeah, I love how it ended.
Who's Christina Hendricks?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I love her.
She's great.
She's a good actress too.
She's
Cracking
okay.
set of tits.
Yeah, she's great. And January Jones too.
Which one's that?
His
Is that the
wife,
second wife or the first wife?
the main wife,
The main
Betty.
wife?
Betty.
I hate her.
Oh, I like her.
She's a good bad guy.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
she the
She's not
bad
super
guy?
like. She's
I
not
don't
super.
know if
She's
she's
not
the bad
super
guy or
likable.
not. Who's
But-
the bad? I don't want to like
Don Draper
Don
was
Draper,
a bad guy.
but
Yeah.
he's like so likable.
That's the hard part about it, because right, he was so
He's a
likable, but he
salesman.
was an asshole.
I can like if you think about I could easily find myself in Don Draper's shoes
Sure.
if I had like any ambition, but I don't know, dude. That would be hard to like live in 1950s New York.
Yeah.
And be an advertisement guy.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah.
I think Goodfellas is also one of the best.
Goodfellas, Casino, or probably
I
my
still
2
haven't seen
favorites.
Casino.
Casino's
I
great.
need to see Casino.
Okay, so this other story here, Chris.
Okay.
First, I saw the headline. You guys know I'm a headline reader. I don't really read a lot of stuff. I'm going to read you the headline. Passenger hauled off flight after mask row and putting sex toy in girlfriend's ear. I don't even know if that's like, what's mask row? I don't know.
It's row, like a row, like a fight.
Okay. All right.
Mask
Yeah,
Fight.
yeah, okay.
I don't know.
All right. Okay.
It's
Then-
UK, so you have to like
Right.
take into account
I
they
gotcha.
don't speak
I
proper
gotcha.
English.
But it was really weird. So that there's nothing in the article about the sex toy anywhere.
It's an alleged. Wait, what?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
So the whole thing's talking about how he was belligerent. He didn't want to wear a mask. He was getting really upset. Then the cart came by to serve alcohol, and they decided not to serve him alcohol, which I think was a big mistake.
Yeah.
You get an angry drunk, you got to keep feeding them, like, and just shut them up. You can't stop them.
It's dangerous either way, man.
Yeah, yeah. So he
I think-
got really upset.
I think there's only been like one person that never served when I was bartending. I like refused to serve.
So the whole thing goes, and it's saying, he was mad. He, They shortly touched down around 9 p.m. to take him off the flight because he was complaining about not wearing a mask. And then the whole thing going through, and it says, where is it at? Okay, so it says, I'm just going to read you this little excerpt. I assume he had been drinking because I don't know why anyone else had been behaving like that. The passenger said that the man, who had a Southeast English accent, seemed like he'd be trouble at the gate.
Where's Southeast England? What is that? Wales?
Southeast English. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that.
Cockney?
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds derogatory though.
Yeah, there's Southeast England, web feet down there.
And then so it says, the man who had a Southeast English accent seemed like he'd be trouble at the gate. He had thrust a sex toy in his girlfriend's ear at the Faro airport, witnesses claimed. As they were boarding, the man reportedly began to argue. Like that,
They
just
just-
thrown in the one little sentence they just threw in there.
The witness. So one guy just said he shoved a dildo in his girl's ear.
So what I'm thinking is they're doing this report and they're like, "Sir, did you see the incident?" He's like, "Yeah, he shoved
Boy, love, it's a dildo in me.
and they're like, "Okay, I'm writing that down. I'm gonna be sure to put this in the report."
Definitely.
And they go back and they say, he's just talking about wearing a mask after the flight.
I like to
Nothing
imagine-
else about sex toy. Like they totally buried the lead here. I know it's in the heading, but that one little sentence, like,
Okay.
what kind of sex toy? How big was it?
Yeah, this brings up.
Where's his girlfriend
Could you
or his
imagine
wife?
like the original unedited version of this article, like where it's mostly about the sex toy?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
the editor that has to be like, dude, we got to cut this down.
And then the author was like, "No, we
cut it."
got to put
And,
the
like,
sex
this
toy
is
thing
his
in."
stand, he's, like, chain smoking. He's got like a bulletin board of like sex toys and pictures. Like you have to put this in.
No, he's doing the whole thing. There's a yarn connecting everything. There's sex toys all over the yarn connecting with the guy's face. And then he's like, "Drew, I'm sorry. We got to put this in somewhere. It's a really important part of the story." And the guy's like, "Okay, just put a sentence in there, right in the middle." It is just right in the middle of the
We
whole
can do
story.
another paragraph next week. All right, we just got to get this to post. All right, we got to get it to post.
But it's such the weirdest. Literally, I mean, it's so weird that
They
it's just,
dropped it in.
and they just dropped it in. Like,
That's the word. That's like a toddler telling you a story.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they just like happen to leave a good piece of information and they're not focused on it whatsoever.
and then it goes off, and then he was
Yep.
he's
He was
frog.
taken off the plane.
What does frog marched mean? That's another English word, I think. Frog marched off the jet.
Is that like when two people are carrying you? Is that a frog march?
I don't know. You probably. Let's see. To seize from behind, roughly and forcefully propel forward. Yeah.
I was right.
The bouncer swiftly pinned him in a half Nelson and frog marched him out the door. I've never heard that. Is that an English thing, you think?
It's got to be. Well, I mean, a British thing.
It doesn't say.
It's just a word, I guess.
That's weird. I had never heard that. It's Frog's March in 1871, a term that originated among London police and referred to their method of moving a drunken or refractory prisoner.
I have a fun fact that might not be a fact.
What?
Do you know the origin of the word fuck?
No, tell me.
So I've heard that this is absolute bullshit, but I've also heard that it's really true. It stands for fornication under the consent of the king.
Yeah. I've heard
Is
that,
that
too.
true?
I've heard it, so it must be
If
true.
You tell
yeah.
me it's true. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go
it's
with it.
true for sure. Yeah.
This article has a great question, made me think of a great question. What's your favorite sex toy and why?
It's one controlled by someone else.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I had to bring it up.
Okay, yeah. In a previous episode, I mean, I talked a lot about it would be fun to, control somebody else's sex toy with a
Specifically, like your male friend.
Yeah, I think that'd be hilarious. I don't think there's much. For me, I think it's really funny.
To make your friends come.
Yeah, I do. I think.
He's a good friend.
Yeah, he's a giver.
Yeah, I think that would be really. I don't know. I think
Okay,
it
so
would be fun.
remote controlled vibrator is up there for you.
Yeah, I think so. I never used it. I don't know, but I think.
Why have you never used it?
I'm an old man. That's
Keep
out of
saying
touch.
No, but like with your wife, you've never tried. You can go on eBay. They're like $5 on eBay.
I'm not buying a remote control vibrator off eBay.
I'm just saying.
That's weird.
You don't have to.
Do people buy stuff like that off
I buy
eBay?
stuff off eBay all the time.
That's look.
Have you ever
I'm,
used any sex toys like with your partners?
I don't know who's listening, so but I mean, look, I've experimented when I was younger for sure, and yeah, I don't know. I'm really boring. I'm really quiet. I don't really talk, and I just get to business, and
Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
I never said like I get business done, and I think I'm really good at it. But am I like the most charismatic? Probably not. Just put that out there.
That's so boring.
I know.
Man.
Look.
Come on, it's not too
Look,
late.
it's fine. Look, I'm 38
never
years
too
old,
late.
Chris. Life's.
You
I
should
mean, I
try
have two
something. You
kids.
You know what you should really do? You should surprise her. Don't even communicate
No.
any of this with her at all. Just surprise her one day.
Oh, she gets mad.
A month of
No, she'll
nursery.
get mad.
She'd love it.
No,
She'd love
she'll-
it.
she'll
What
be like-
what could go wrong?
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "You paid $50 for this off eBay," and then we'll have that argument.
If you got off Amazon, would she be more okay with?
Yeah, if I got off Prime
On
or
Prime
something.
Day?
Yeah, on Prime Day. I'll tell her I got on Prime Day.
So you've never even
actually-
tried like a vibrator or anything?
Look, I told you in my early days. Yeah, we've
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
like now, like no, I mean, like I'm past my prime with that stuff. It's well, what's your favorite? What do you do?
My favorite sex toy? I mean, it's
That's
hard
so
to
wait,
go
oh my
wrong.
god, we are totally different worlds right now.
I'm weird as fuck, bro.
Yeah, well, it's just
I'm
it's
divorced
strange.
already.
Yeah,
I've been through it. I'm
you-
older than you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you have to think about which is your favorite is kind of crazy. It's great.
Well,
Hey,
'cause,
I
like,
envy
you
you.
gotta think about it like I'm into like BDSM, so it's like there's the domination and the submission type of toys, and they're totally different. So it's like, do you enjoy using this toy or this toy being used on you? So like, you got to think about that.
See, that's where we are totally different. Yeah, because I don't even talk
You
about that
kinda know
stuff. No, I mean, hey, if I am or not, I'm not going to talk about it. It's like,
Oh my God.
no, that's so weird. Like, you're not gonna. I cannot imagine telling her like, I don't know, like, I
That's
just
so
do
weird.
it.
Like, sex is awesome. Why would you not talk about it? Do you eat ass?
Chris, quit asking these questions. Listen,
I knew you wouldn't answer that one. I just want to see what you say.
look,
But there's gonna be a lot of editing.
no, there's not.
No, you better not edit a word of this.
I don't edit stuff. I don't need to edit. It's fine. I don't really care.
He's
But
too cool to care.
I
Come
am.
on.
It's cool, man. I don't edit it. So, look, yeah, I mean, like you do all kinds of different stuff in bed. I get it, but I'm not one. I'm like, there's like the talkers like you, like let's do this. I know it.
I
Not
don't
for
have
me.
an itinerary. I don't Google Calendar.
No,
with
But I have a feeling I bet you're like, okay,
No, I got
last last week we used the chains. This week, let's get at the leather. And then I got some stuff coming tomorrow that's gonna be awesome.
You have to use a special kind of rope. Did you know that?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, because you don't want to get you don't really
because
want to
if
get
it
hurt.
cinches, you can block blood flow and can actually create a blood clot or something.
Right. So I think there's like wristbands and stuff, right? Like,
You can use braces that have like O-rings and stuff on it that you can hook to the rings. That way you don't even run that risk. But like there's like a silken kind of rope for like Japanese I can't pronounce the word, shiribi type of tying. There's all kinds of stuff, man.
I mean, there's all kinds of like.
You could do that with one of your guy friends.
So
Would that be fun too?
it's so weird. I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Why?
It's just because it's weird, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I've never talked about that stuff really with my wife. Like, we do stuff and whatever. We have like a healthy relationship.
Have you ever like watched porn with your wife?
Yeah.
You've done that, but you haven't talked about it. To
No,
me, watching
no.
porn
You
with
just-
someone is
look,
way harder than like
Before,
talking about
after,
it.
you don't talk about it. During, you could say maybe something, but before and after, nope. Like after it's done, No. After you're done, you're just done, and you move on with your life.
You should like talk about it with her while you're using the remote vibrator,
Yeah, see,
and that way, like you can like
she would definitely not.
you could like try to
I don't
Pavlov her of what you like. You think about 3 ways: turn it on.
No, it's not, and I don't want to make it about even my wife. Like, it's not even. It's like me. Like, it's just weird. I don't know.
I bet your wife is like actually super like open-minded and like wholesome and like nice and like 2021 and you're like 1940s.
She's not very nice.
We keep the lights off. You go back to your bed after you've had sex.
Yeah. You keep it quiet. You do the deed. Everybody has fun, and
Nobody gets hurt.
yeah, and we're all good to go. It's a really awkward conversation, but man, the conversations do not usually make me feel. I usually try to be that person.
I love making you feel awkward. Yeah, I noticed that on the clip. I was like, Dale is just making all of his super like vanilla friends feel weird. What can I do?
Well, I think that's they're always afraid who's listening, but
Who cares?
yeah, who cares?
Short.
Who cares? And my wife has listened to a couple of these episodes, but she's really she's really.
I love your wife.
She doesn't. She's not listening to this one.
I'm not gonna tell her about it. Brooke's always been so nice to me whenever you had me work at your house.
She could be nice.
Sometimes she's mad at you and you record a podcast.
She's just mad a lot. That's all. I think it's age. I think like
just watching your life pass you by.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because the kids are getting older, and she feels like she's getting older.
You know what she could do to help her pass the time? Get a job.
I didn't say it. Being a mom, it's a job.
I've never heard you say something you believe less.
Oh, jeez.
It's a great job. I would love to have that job. Could you imagine being like a trophy husband?
I was for a few months, and so was Glenn, who's on the other side of the room. So that
Glenn still is, but
kinda, yeah, he is. Oh, not really.
Face like this.
Exactly, those teeth, man.
It's really what was I saying? It was hard. It was hard being a full-time dad.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, with like a little baby that
You only had one?
I had one. Well,
Brooke's
I had
got
one.
2.
Yeah. Well, the first one, man, it was fucking hard, dude. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
I bet the first one's a lot harder than the second one.
Yeah.
Like if you drop the second one, you don't really care as much because you dropped the first one before.
Oh, my 1-year-old fell down the stairs a couple of days ago. Literally,
This
like,
is invisible in
down.
court, so be careful what you say. Wait, put the
Jesus.
jacket on and say you fell down the stairs.
Don't know how. Tripped.
Yeah, who slips? Fell down the stairs.
Yeah, no, man, she tumbled from like the top step, and then she was fine until the very end, and then that's when she hit her eye on the floor.
Oh Jesus Christ! Man.
Yeah, it was a little black eye. I felt bad for her, but she's
Have you gotten any dirty looks when you took her out in public with the black eye? Like you smacked her around a little bit.
No, I mean she's gonna be a fucking trooper, because I think most people that have 2 kids, the second one is just gonna be way fucking tougher.
I'm a second kid. I'm a middle kid.
And you probably got picked on a lot by your
I
bigger
have
sister.
2 older sisters and 2 younger sisters.
They probably like beat you up a little bit when you were little.
beat me up now.
Little.
They're-
Like when you were like 1, they probably picked
They
you
would
up and
frame
beat
me
you.
for stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like emotionally, they beat me up.
Oh, my 4-year-old pushes my baby around, and it's bad. She just bullies her right now.
She takes after you.
I don't bully. Dude, I know you didn't. I know you haven't heard the story. This
Yeah.
is crazy. So a guy in Cape Cod was up in the Northeast. He was diving for lobster, and he was like 40 feet down getting lobster.
Okay.
And he said all of a sudden it felt like he was like hit by a truck. He's like, what the hell's going on? He was looking around. He said it was really dark. Look, I don't know how much of the story is true.
Was
I
his
feel
name
like,
Jonah?
so he looks around. He says, oh shit, I think I was just eaten by a shark. And he's looking around. This is what he said. He said, I don't know. He said, I don't know what was going on, but I didn't feel any sharp teeth. And it was really dark. And then he said he was there for a few minutes, and then he was like shucking around, and then he was just jetted out of the mouth. And it was a humpback whale that ate him.
So he was like in the stomach.
He said he was in his mouth.
the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And man, look, I like a good story. There's really
way
no-
to verify this.
There's no way to verify it. Like he has, they said he had minor tissue damage, and I think he had like a sprained leg or knee or something like that.
Was there like whale DNA on him or something we could verify?
I wish there's not though.
I care about this way more than like anything Joe Biden's ever done or Trump. Like this is like a story I would actually want to fact check.
But then yeah,
So cool.
there's so many things like, okay, if a humpback whale just came and like hit me really hard,
Mhm.
and then I got up and like, oh my God, did you see that? And they're like, yeah, the whale swallowed you. And then you'll be like, yeah,
where's
that's what it
Where's
is.
his
The whale.
lobsterman buddies? Like,
They were in the boat, and so he got
how
out.
do you see that or know that? Like you don't have them on a radio and be like, where am I going?
I mean, they just dive down. They come back up with the lobster. They said at first he thought he was eaten by a great white shark because they're all over Cape Cod in the summer. But then he realized he didn't have teeth. He said, "Oh my God, I'm in the mouth of a whale." I'm having a really hard time believing this. This is a big story.
No, yeah, he's 100% lying, but I like the idea that he's telling.
When
the
you're
truth.
when you're inside of a whale's mouth,
Mhm.
you're not thinking like, "Oh my God." You're thinking like, "I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna get eaten. What's going on?" You're not thinking like, "Wait a minute."
I mean, he's in
Like
there
feeling
for,
around. I think I'm in the mouth of a whale.
He's
like,
in
you
there
know,
for minutes.
I-
It's like you're checking your oxygen at one point, and you're like, "Oh God, what happened? Something fall on me? Am I
Yeah.
trapped under a boat?"
I'm thinking the whale just hit him really hard, and then his friends were like, "I think you were eaten by the whale," and he's like, "Yeah, I was."
I bet I was. Yeah, like this is like one story that's got out of control so fast.
Yeah.
Like he actually just passed out a little bit, and he came to, and he's like, "Oh, maybe a whale," and she's like, "What?
Yeah.
A whale?"
I
He's
think
like,
so, too.
Yeah. He's like, "Let it go."
I think so too.
And then like his friends are the ones reporting the story, and then they call him the next day, and he's like, "Yeah."
yeah. Well, they were all on the boat drinking. They were diving. Like, look at that guy. He doesn't.
Oh, he's drunk as shit, dude.
His sister told.
What if there was like a really fat girl on the boat and they just call her the whale, and it's like an inside joke that got too far?
He said he was taken to the hospital with one broken leg. I don't know. This is. I don't think this
Do
is
whales
true.
ever eat people?
I want to look and see if there's a comment section on this.
You
Because
picked up the most like spam baity article you could ever.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's-
pop-ups that you have to close to actually get to this.
look at this. Man finds weird cave in Greensboro, enters and drops to his knees.
It's called an interesticle instead of an article
Oh,
because it's an
Interesting article.
like a testicle. I don't get that.
$1.2 million worth of cocaine found in Florida Beach during turtle nesting season. Interesting. Anyways, there's no comments on this, but
It's all clickbaity stuff.
all I'm saying is you guys have to be really careful. And this is a viral thing.
To be really careful when you're lobstering off the Cape Cod.
I don't know.
I think
I don't
it's
believe
lying.
it. I don't believe it. It's really hard. Like
If you ever
you're listening to this one guy.
wait, are you streaming this?
He spent 30 seconds.
Oh, dude, if you stream it like on Twitch, you can do like polls,
Oh yeah.
and you can
that'd be
like
good.
have your assuming when we get an audience, you can
Yeah.
have an audience like vote on if they think it's true. Or not
That'd be
on the
good.
live stream.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Well, you guys let me know if you think this is true, because maybe they'll email me or
No,
something.
it's not true. You die.
I don't know. I don't look. Is it possible?
How
I
did
mean,
not
this
back
humpback
is actually-
humpback's whale is huge.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
How did not just swallow it?
Why didn't it swallow?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like you ever eat, like you're eating chicken and you get a little piece of gristle. You don't swallow the gristle. You go, and you put it out. Maybe that's what he did.
I eat the bones. Have you ever eaten the bone marrow out of chicken?
No.
You ever done that?
No.
It's like you cook the chicken.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I
aware.
cook my chicken like in a slow cooker, like a crock pot,
No
to the point it gets like really soft.
Not here.
And then like you can just crack the bones open, and I'll eat the bone marrow every now and then. It's good.
There's no. Just eat the
So
chicken,
much
Chris.
protein, man.
Just eat the chicken, bro.
How's your workouts been going?
Let's not talk about it.
Why
Let's
not?
Chris,
You were doing so
look,
good last time
one
I
bad
talked to
one
you.
bad week isn't a bad month.
It's
Okay.
not.
Okay. So
Not at all. Would
One-
Michael Jordan stop after one bad?
no, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm right back on the wagon tomorrow.
No, today.
Today,
Let's
right
go
back
We're
on the
going to work out after this.
It's really hot in here. Do you feel hot?
No.
Oh man, I'm kind of sweaty already.
It's because we're talking about sex toys and your friends.
Oh, that's right. There isn't enough male sex toys though. Like
No,
there's
well,
the
I mean,
fleshlight
to be
and that's
fair,
it.
There's only so many motions you can do.
Hmm.
You don't want to like Indian sunburn your dick. I bet you there's a toy for that though.
Good point. Are there toy? That would be weird.
I
Are
wonder
there-
who the Don Draper of sex toys is.
there's one. There's one.
There's gotta be. There's gotta be a number one like sex toy salesperson.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a woman.
definitely.
It's definitely
Nobody's
Gay guy.
a man or a gay guy.
that'd be a market right there.
What?
Who's hornier than gay guys?
Oh yeah, gay guys have it.
That's what I'm
They have
saying.
it easy.
Have you ever downloaded Grinder?
No.
It's hilarious.
What's so funny?
The amount.
I mean, I didn't mean like that. I meant like tell me why it's hilarious.
because like you're suddenly. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be a woman?
Yes,
like
all the time.
So like emotionally, being on a gay dating app is like that.
really,
Because people will approach you like the way guys approach women, and it's disgusting but hilarious at the same time.
interesting.
Me and Adam downloaded it at work one day because we didn't want to work, and we used Adam because he's prettier than me, and he had like 10 dick pics within 10 minutes. I shit you not.
Really?
It was hilarious,
That's crazy.
and they were terrifying. Like they were weird shapes.
That's crazy. Yeah, I would imagine that it's weird. Yeah, the gay. It's just it's such a weird thing to think like men know what men like,
Exactly.
right? And so like if women acted
Have
more
you
like
ever-
gay guys,
Okay, so I don't really care. I'm not really gay, but have you ever thought about like, oh, there's this like, how do you know you're not gay until you fucked a guy? It's like, how do you know you don't
Sure.
like broccoli until you've had broccoli?
no, yeah,
you
no,
don't know.
100%
And
agree.
who likes? Does a person who's never had broccoli not like broccoli more than a person who's had broccoli and doesn't like broccoli? The guy who's had broccoli and doesn't like broccoli knows he doesn't like broccoli. But the
Yes.
guy who doesn't like broccoli thinks he doesn't like broccoli. So in other words, if you suck a dick and you don't like it, that means you're not gay.
Look,
But you never know until you try.
yeah, I mean maybe we're all gay until we're not.
I don't
We're-
follow.
We're all gay
Keep going.
we're all gay until we know that we're not. So like
Okay.
in your
okay,
analogy,
okay.
we all like broccoli until we taste it and we
Right,
don't know. Right now,
right.
you know, we all like broccoli.
So like guys who have like never dipped their toe in the homosexual pool,
Yeah.
you don't know. And plus it's a spectrum. So like you can be less gay than someone else or more gay than someone else
Mhm.
and still be completely heterosexual.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Look, and that's why
How are you on TikTok and you don't know this?
the whole homophobia stuff, like it's really weird that some people are like, oh no, that's disgusting. It's like you never tried. And
That's what
I never
saying.
tried. I
Dude,
don't
there's
know.
a
but-
parade for it.
yeah, they have parades. So
something to
yeah,
it.
they have parades. About-
CK joke, I love that.
but no, it's yeah, absolutely right. I don't know. Look, yeah, you never know, right?
It's hilarious.
You never know.
It's so
I mean, I think Theo Vaughn said this, like, I don't know, was it bit or not, but or joke maybe, but you know, he doesn't know if he's going to be gay in 5 years. Like, he doesn't know. he might be. Who knows? But anyways,
That's fun. Yeah, you don't.
yeah, you never know. You never know. A lot can happen in 5 years. I mean, look, my wife can divorce me, and then I get a really close friend that's gay, and then he says, "Hey, you want to try something?"
Stop smiling so much.
And then, then he goes off to the military and leaves me.
Weirdly, it makes us grow together somehow. I don't. The absence.
And, anyways, are you? Never mind.
How long has it been since I quit my job? It's been like 2 months.
2 or 3 months, yeah.
The days just run together now.
Yeah.
It's one big weekend.
Yeah. When do you leave? You
I
leave like
just
July.
passed my first test for special warfare last Monday. So I'm eligible for contracts. So it really depends on if Joe Biden wants to start another war or not. Because if he starts pulling troops out of Afghanistan, which he's been saying he wants to, there's fewer contracts. So I might have to wait longer. But if he doesn't pull his troops out, then I'll probably get to a contract sooner. One of my buddies just left for basic today.
Nice.
Yeah. He's not going to make it.
He's
100%
not gonna make it like out or like.
He's either going to die in the service, not make it as a PJ. Because what he wants to do, his job is like insane. And he's like such a good guy. Like he's going to die doing it. Like he wants to be a PJ, which is pararescue jumping. So he literally wants to go like, let's say like there's a SEAL team or like some Marines and they're doing a operation. They get into a firefight. Somebody gets injured. His job would be to fly with a crew into enemy fire, dive down, secure the injured person, extract them, and then fly out. It's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And he is like such a good guy. Like he would 100% die trying to save someone else. And he's not super bright.
Yeah.
He's incredibly strong and terrifying. He's like dumb country strong.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
he
gotcha.
talks like this.
Yeah.
He's scary.
Yeah.
Like, he picked me up just randomly one day and started running. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, the whole, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't go in the military. I actually really wanted to in high school.
You should have. You still can.
Really
We're about to have a
There's
30.
no way.
We're about to have a 39-year-old join our special
Yeah,
warfare
no, they don't.
development.
They don't want me. Like, let's get out there. Like, oh, my knees. It's hot.
It's hot.
I couldn't do it. No, I definitely couldn't. I have no. I don't want to. I know that's not a popular thing, right? Like, everybody wants to, fight
Really
for the country.
popular to not want to.
Yeah, I don't want
Most
to.
people shit on the military.
Yeah, I guess.
I
so.
avoid telling people I'm going into the military.
Really?
Yeah,
'Cause of the
because I
negative.
don't want to argue about it.
Right.
And then like it's immediately I'm like, oh, I'm right wing conservative, which I'm not.
Right.
I just wanted a nice job with insurance, and this is kind of fun.
Well, I don't know. Crazy. Anyways, all right. We've been going for how long now?
Oh, are we done?
I don't know. It's an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, all right. We're done. We're done.
Yeah, I think
Who
that's
are
it.
we gonna have on next?
I don't know.
Wasn't there like an NBA guy or something?
Yeah, guy, and there are a couple people. I'm looking for some gambling people. I want to kind of go outside my comfort zone a little bit and get some.
Gambling?
Yeah, like talking to like how they gamble and all that stuff. Like,
Okay.
betting people.
Oh, isn't your friend really good at that? Like poker?
I'm really good at poker. Yeah, I'm
It
great.
sounds
At
like that you know somebody who's better at it though.
Oh yeah,
What was
yeah.
his name?
Yeah, John.
John.
Yeah, he gets me all the time. Look, you can't win them all.
Didn't you teach me how to play was it spades?
Spades, yeah.
Yeah.
Spades was a game, man. It was fun.
So when you guys play poker, do you do it like all virtually?
Like on an app, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys like on a webcam show when you do it?
Yeah.
Or so you just like all wait and take a turn?
Yeah.
Do you have it like scheduled or do you have to like wait a long time?
No, we all just get together and say, "Hey, who wants to play tonight?" And then we have
So it's like a group chat.
yeah.
Do you guys actually bet money on it?
Yeah.
How like what
Like
would
$20
be,
bucks.
Oh, like for the whole night?
Yeah,
It's
like $20. Yeah, everybody pays $20. And it's like
Oh,
winner
that's
take
not
all.
so
Yeah,
bad.
no,
How
it's
long does a game usually last?
like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, well, like if he plays, it's like 15 minutes, but no, most of the time, like it's like an hour or 2 hours. depending.
How much of poker can you bullshit? Because they say you're playing the player, you're not playing the cards.
Yeah.
It's like
It all depends,
I know nothing about poker. It's like if we sat at a table like with a
Right,
couple people, how
right.
much could I bullshit? Because I'm
Um,
pretty good at bullshitting.
you won't win. You can win hands, but you won't win the game. Like you can.
That'd be
You,
tough.
you,
Yeah,
you
I
can
could
do
get
well.
down
You
like
can do
top
well, but then
three or
you're gonna get called
something.
out, and
Yeah.
you'll be done.
We'll figure it out.
But-
Is there only one winner in poker? Like only one person leaves with money, or can you quit at any time?
Depends. It depends on the style. You can play like tournaments, which one person wins all, like type thing, or maybe they'll do like first and second place or whatever, or you could just play cash, and whenever you want to get up and take your winnings or losings, and you can just get out of there. So
Is
it
that
depends.
frowned upon?
It's frowned upon if you're betting. If you're winning and you take everybody's money, then you leave and you don't give them a chance to win it back.
Oh,
But if you get it all, then you give them some chances.
so you should play like 2 or 3
Yeah.
like